Hi, my name is Andrew Hepworth, or Andy to my friends. I'm a vintage watch expert here at Vintage Cash Cow, and I've worked for Vintage Cash Cow for approximately 5 years now. On a day-to-day basis, we receive our watches from the appraisals department. We sort thousands of watches every week, and we split them into subcategories such as ladies hand wines, gents hand wines, better quality watches. But don't worry if your watches aren't working, because we also accept broken watches and we can use the parts for various other projects that we have. The best way to care for your watches is, well, there are two basic types of watches. There are quartz watches, and then there are the hand wines and the automatic watches. Quartz watches are sort of really bulletproof, as it were. They don't react badly to dust and things like that. Obviously, if they're not waterproof, keep them away from water and change the battery regularly. Don't leave it till it runs out of power, because you will often find that the battery has leaked inside the watch, ruining it. Don't sleep in your watches, please, people. Dust can get in through the crown, get into the movement, and the movement can then stop working. Wear your watches. Not wearing them is bad for them. They're moving things, and sticking them in a drawer really doesn't do them any good. The oils will dry up, and therefore when you do come to wear them again, they probably won't work. I'm talking over a few years. Also, keep them serviced. Take them to a good watch repairer and get them serviced. As I say, the oil does dry up. And occasionally just wipe the watches down. Sweat, etc. on leather watch straps isn't good, and the grime from your skin is just not good for the watches either. The best way to pack your watches and send them to Vintage Cash Cow is, if they're working, then obviously you need to take good care of them. They don't like being transported on a van. Just pack them in some tissue paper first, especially around the dial and the watch head itself, and then in some bubble wrap, and then in a separate cardboard box, a rigid cardboard box, because if you're sending your watches with other heavy things, then they need to be protected from that, basically. So tissue paper, bubble wrap in a strong cardboard box, and then they're okay to be sent to us then. Also, like this one here, if you've this is rather nice, and we would be grateful of any of these type of watches. They're made by Rolex. This one's in its original box with its original paperwork. Send the paperwork and the box into us, and we'll be able to appraise it correctly then. What makes a valuable watch is primarily the name. The most famous watch company at this moment in time is Rolex. It's not only Rolex, you've got Patek Philippe, you've got Tudor, which is the second sort of string to Rolex's watch division. You've got Omega, Longines, etc. So those are the types of names, companies that Vintage Cash Cow are looking out for. Then obviously, if a watch is finished in a precious material, gold or platinum, that always adds to the value, although not necessarily now, because there is a great fashion for Rolex stainless steel watches. Again, hand wines and automatics are generally worth more than quartz. The next thing is, especially with the hand wines and automatics, is what kind of movement they've got in them and what kind of complications they've got, such as power reserves, calendars on the wristwatches, things like that. They all increase the value. And obviously, if you've this is just an aside, if you've ever known anybody famous, then obviously if a watch belongs to a famous person, that can send the value skyrocketing.